you. I am Unstoppable Tracy, and I am super excited to be here with one of the gentlemen that launched me into my incredible success the past 12, 14 months that many of you have watched. Especially many of you Facebook viewers that are watching us live today. Thank you for joining in. And I am here with Michel Neray, the founder of Mo Mondays and the founder of Unstoppable Tracy Schmidt in many ways, in more than one. It is such a pleasure to have you on my show today. I have a show today on TDC, Unstoppable You, partly because of this man saying, why don't you come on my stage at Mo Monday? Will you say hello to our viewers that are watching you live right now?
Well, hello viewers. I have to tell you, half of that intro, not quite, it makes me feel funny for me to feel like I'm responsible for your success. No! You're successful because you're amazing.
Oh, Michel, see how wonderful he is. He's so humble. And he's looking very handsome, by the way. Your jacket and your green eyes, don't they pop? Look at that. See, I can't make
see that, but anyway, thank you.
Oh, Michel, will you tell the world, because it's not only our viewers that are with us right now, and we've already had about 350 of you view the show as we've been speaking, which is amazing. We also have 38 million Roku viewers from around the world globally. And so will you tell them all how Unstoppable Michel Neray got interested in founding a Mo Mondays?
So, and now Mo Mondays seems to be unstoppable.
It sure is.
Unstoppable, Tracy.
Holy cow.
I know. We are now effectively coast to coast. Which is very cool. And it all started, okay, back up a little bit. I would love to say I had a vision, and then I sat down and I strategized, masterminded, engineered it, re-engineered it, and it came out perfect. But that would be a lie.
For me too, folks.
That would be a lie. It all started because I've been a professional speaker for 25 years, entrepreneur. I did all the usual things, go on networking events and speak to sell events and speaker events and all kinds of things. Been involved in stand-up comedy and had been going to stand-up comedy week after week after week. And I loved them all. But there were things about each one of them that I hated. I didn't like the superficial nature of networking events where it's all just about give me your card, how many cards could I hand out? I've had people, come back to me 10 minutes after they've just given me their card and say, oh, here's my card. I said, no, thank you, you already gave me two. But I like the social nature of networking events. I loved hearing great speakers. But I got turned off when the minute they said, and if you go now to the back of the room, you can buy my program and my DVD or whatever it is. And said that just killed their credibility for me.
So true.
And I love to stand, who doesn't love to laugh?
Yeah.
But sometimes at the end of the night, I'd look at my wife and I said, what were we laughing at? And how appropriate. Well, did we learn anything? And the other things, I come from an age where everybody did some form of personal improvement, personal life transformation. But, how many times could you do a weekend series and pay thousands of dollars and, all of that stuff. So really, one day I just said, I'm going to do my own event. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm going to do an event. And I remember walking out the door and my wife says to me, so why are you doing this? I said, I don't know. I don't know. I just have a calling to do this. And
you listen to your gut.
I listened to my gut. And then for the first 3 months, there's the whole story. There were 18 people in the audience, second floor of a tea room, no stage, no lighting, no sound, no music, no microphone, no nothing.
Oh.
And 3 months later, they kicked us out.
Oh my goodness.
Because we weren't bringing in enough business.
Oh no.
So we went to a jazz bar. And the jazz bar. What do they have at a jazz bar that they don't have in a tea room?
Jazz?
That's for one, yes.
And booze! Booze!
It was a great place, and that's when the audiences started coming and expanding. But that only tells part of the story, because by then, the 3 months of experience that I had, I saw everything on the, not stage, but the floor, that I never wanted to see again. I saw people sell, I saw people, you know, just practice their shtick, and I saw people just being very inauthentic, and it just wasn't what I wanted. So it was by process of elimination of everything that I didn't want, we started bringing in some rules. Okay, it has to be a personal story. It has to be no selling. No selling. I can't tell you how many times people have come up to me and says, Michel, this is so great, and nobody tried to sell me on, you know, this $900, she said, a cassette package.
Yeah.
She was old. Anyway, right?
Yeah.
So,
cassettes.
Cassettes. I remember those? So,
no, I don't remember.
No, you were. So it was by process of elimination that we decided that we slowly started putting some shape around this. What is a Mo Mondays show? And we call it a show. It's not an event. It's a show. It's in the evening. It's usually in a bar, a club, or something. There's a social aspect to it. And by the end of, and it's people sharing personal stories, but it doesn't have to be a heavy personal story.
No.
Nor does it have to be intentionally humorous or stand-up comedy-ish. But we really, every night, we try to get a whole range of stories. And you've been enough times, you know, by the end of the night, everybody's on stage. Everybody! And I mean, 3/4 of the audience
ends
up on stage and turn up the music, and it becomes a party and everybody has fun. Because it's such a cathartic experience.
Yeah.
And so what we say about Mo Mondays is that, yes, it's rooted in personal storytelling, personal transformation, but more than anything, it's professional entertainment. It's professional entertainment that's a little bit more meaningful than you would find. And we also mix in music, a lot of musicians who come and they share more of the stories behind their songs. So it's really, they get an opportunity to share in a way that they don't at your average bar gig.
Yes, yes. I know, and I love about Mo Monday, you say everybody's on the stage and it's like a party, you know, and that's kind of TDC. It's just like, let's get everybody on stage. Let's leave nobody behind, everyone included. And that's what you do. I remember when I was on this show, there was a young girl that was just coming to terms with embracing her parents and realizing that they're her parents and that that's just sort of the journey of life, right? And then you have me as a former amputee and someone else who is an alcoholic and someone else who is a mom, I think, coming out with her child that was transgender. Like, it was the real full gamut.
And some are, I mean, you happen to mention the more intense stories.
Oh, very true.
But there are lots of very light stories too.
Yes.
Or there are sometimes, the ones that I personally like the most.
Yes.
Ones that, like you, that potentially are intense stories, but we wrap them up in a way that's fun and light, enlightening at the same time, and awakening and funny and entertaining. And those are the ones that everybody in the audience can learn from. Yes. Because, you know, not everybody in the audience is a 4-way amputee.
Yeah, what?
I hate to break it to you, Tracy.
I never even noticed. I just assumed.
But you know what? But here's the deal. Everyone in the audience has some disability.
Yes.
We all do.
Yes.
For some, it's just a vulnerability. It's something that we perhaps try to hide.
Yes.
Some hide it a little bit
better than
others.
Oh my God. And I feel like I'm lucky. Mine's like out in the open and over with.
Yeah, we're done. Like, what are you gonna do, right?
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
No secrets.
Yeah. So, but it's fun. It's just we want to take every ounce of life that we can squeeze out and just enjoy ourselves. And you know, like, hey, this is me. But like I said, it's just all kinds of stories.
It's so great. Do you remember the guy in the audience? I was just coming up to stage and I did my piece, and afterwards he came racing up to me and he said to me, "Do you know, I didn't even know you were missing your arms and your legs. And it was right before going on, and he felt really bad because he bumped into me or something like that. And I made the poor guy feel really guilty because I'm like, well, I wonder what he was looking at if he didn't notice my arms and legs were missing, right? He got in a lot of trouble with his wife. It was great, but I love that humanness and that comfortable banter that's just free.
Because
right?
bottom line, we're all people.
Yes.
And what I've come to realize, and this was kind of like a latent realization that I had in my head a long time, but it's like, when we share our personal stories, not only, I think the world becomes a better place.
Yes.
And it becomes a better place because we process our own story at a much deeper level than we ever have before. You know, most of the time when people say, oh yeah, I'm going to share my story at Mo Mondays or a story at Mo Mondays, you think you know it.
Yes.
But you don't really know it until you've picked it apart and put it back together in a way that makes sense for the audience.
Yes.
And then if we get it right, which is understand that it's a personal story, but also understand that there's a universal aspect to that story. Everybody in one of the best comments that I got from someone was, I was listening to a story, this happened to be from a transgendered person, and the person in the audience came up to me and said, you know, I had nothing in common with her, and yet I had everything in common.
Yes. And you know, what he's sharing with all of you is unintentionally his natural coaching ability. That's another facet and favorite piece about you, Michel, is some of the courses that I've attended with you.
Thank you.
So will you tell our viewers, you're too humble to sort of say so in sharing all of those tips and tricks, will you tell our viewers your four or 5-part series of your course
So yeah, I mean, you can imagine over the last many years of running Mo Mondays, we've seen a lot of people share stories. We've broken it down into what makes good stories, what makes boring but interesting stories, and interesting and entertaining stories, and stories that change lives, that are humorous, entertaining, and meaningful. And so what I've done is it's funny, I used to do this try to do it all in one weekend. Can't do it. There are too many moving parts. So we've broken it into, I think now it's a 5-part series.
Yeah.
There's improv for speakers, because improv is great no matter what you do. But there are elements of improv that we highlight specifically for speakers.
Nice.
Then we do performance, but we do a performance for speakers in a way that's tailored for people who are sharing stories. And you know, people say, oh, do I need to be sharing a story just for Mo Mondays to get value out of this? No, it's because when you think about it, every keynote, every business presentation, every sales presentation,
every elevator conversation,
should have an element of story. Mm-hmm. And so how do I structure this? So another element is structure of stories. Another, what we're going to be doing tomorrow that you're part of, is how do we write the topic description so that people would be interested in coming to hear you speak in the first place. And when you think about it, that exercise really gets your head on straight for how you're going to develop your talk. So a lot of people save that for, I'll write about my talk after I finish writing my talk. So no, you write it first as kind of like wrap your head around it. So we do that. We also have a whole workshop on humor for speakers, the craft of comedy for speakers. Yes. And that's a lot of fun.
I really enjoyed that.
That's a lot of fun.
So fun.
And then we've got one final one where people have the opportunity to kind of put it all together, kind of like in a master class format. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's fun.
Oh,
I enjoy it.
It's so great. You know, and it's interesting that you talk about the topics that draw people in and what to write first or second. And I know that as a speaker, once people have seen me, I often get the invites back. Mm-hmm. But for me, it's that first breaking into the market, and whether it's for a job or whether it's for a stage or whether it's for a conversation to develop a lifelong friendship. It's that sort of that topic description, that opener, that is your segue in with new folks.
Right.
And so I'm really excited about tomorrow.
It forces you to really take a look at the value that you offer, the unique aspect of what you are, your differentiation. It's branding. It's your brand. In fact,
Yes.
you know, I still do it. So, but before I launched Mo Mondays, I had a branding agency. So this was some of the exercises that I did with that. And
And
so
brand is authentic. His brand is you meet the nicest people, and it's true.
thank you.
Right? You really do meet
You
the
do.
nicest people.
You do. So it forces you to really take a look at these things as what is the most compelling thing about what I offer, most compelling, the thing that is going to make people, even if they do just this, tell me again, whatever, you know, just that faint expression of interest. What is it that's going to spark that door opening for where you could tell more, the gate opener, the door opener that I call.
And who can't use a gate opener? Who can't use a door opener?
Yeah.
And I think that that's true of people with disabilities, that's true of able-bodied world, that's true of the business person, that's true of society, that, you know, opening those doors, even if it's just to feel comfortable borrowing a cup of milk from your neighbor, or as big as securing funding for a multi-million-dollar idea. Right? We need to open doors. And so it's great for speakers, but it's also just great for people getting that.
It's just, no matter what it is you do, it's to be honest with you, it's classic communication.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes.
It's understanding how people hear so that you could, and it's not about tricks or techniques or lying or whatever. It's not about any of those things. It's just about knowing what people will be interested in and leading with that. You know, and this also comes back to my branding. When I work with my corporate clients, I find that very often the most interesting, compelling, and fascinating thing and the highest value is usually, you know, on the 4th tab down, 23 layers deep of their website.
Yeah, they want to save the best for last.
Yeah, because you start at the 50,000 foot level, then you drill down slowly and slowly. I want to reach down right at the bottom and put it right up front, right on the homepage. That's what I do.
Give the value up front. And I think that's a great conversational skill for all of our unstoppable viewers. How to be unstoppable is don't keep your value secret. Get it out there. I would love for you also, in your improv world, can you share one little improv secret for just general population, whether a speaker or not? What's an improv tip? Let's say we were doing an improv that maybe we would use in life too. Because how many moments do you get surprised with?
So everybody thinks improv is totally made up on the spot. And so the first thing we need to realize is that for the most part is an illusion.
Okay.
So we might have, so for example, has this ever happened to you on stage where you flub your words?
Once or twice.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, it happens to the best of us,
Yes.
right? And so you can choose to either be flustered,
Yes.
which happens if
And
you're
say
not
sorry.
experienced, say sorry,
Terrible.
and would you call attention to it, which is even worse,
Yeah.
right?
Oh.
Or you could just make a quick joke about it and move on.
Yes.
And there was so one of the things that we teach in the improv workshop, since that's one that you brought up, is have 5 or 6 lines in your back pocket. Because it'll happen. You will flub your words.
Yes.
It'll happen for sure. So then if you have 5 or 6 things, oh, you know what, if I flub my words, I'll say this.
Yes.
So, you know, once I just could not get my word out. And you know how sometimes you just keep tripping over the same word, same word. Yeah, and then I just had to say, don't worry, I'll get this. I'm a professional speaker. And everybody cracked up.
They cracked up.
And you know, that just gave me the break I needed to just move on. So,
Yeah.
and you come up with your own.
Yes.
But the thing is, we will come up with them.
Yes.
We just need to remember that, oh, you know, that worked. I could use that next time.
Yes.
There you go.
There you go. You know, people often ask me, you know, what happened? And I say, oh, I was born this way. And they say they don't know why. And I just say, oh, I was a fluke. And then I always see everybody feeling uncomfortable. And then my mom, she's this Liverpudlian, and she's got a humor a lot like yours. And I know you're a Montrealer, not a Liverpudlian, but she always says, well, Tracy's a fluke in more ways than one, right? And she's very cheeky and sarcastic. And it makes people laugh. And so that's my line, and it sounds spontaneous and relevant to the moment, but it's actually, it's a secret back pocket.
And that's what we call it. We call it back pocket lines.
Yeah.
Always have back pocket lines. And so it may look like improv, and you know, you just knowing that you have something in case.
Yes.
Gives you the confidence that, don't worry, I'm not gonna, you know, even if I screw up, no big deal.
That's right. Gives you the confidence to be unstoppable you. And we have all these Facebook viewers online that are incredible, tuning in live.
And they're all flukes.
And they're all flukes.
Because we are all flukes. You know?
Not just me.
We are all flukes of nature.
I hope you're watching, Mom.
Not freaks of nature. Freaks of nature. Maybe we're all freaks of nature, but we're all flukes. When you think of the odds of, you know, the egg and the sperm and which one came together, like, what is it, 1 in 10 million or whatever.
I'm a little worried about where we're going with egg and the sperm. So I think I might need to wrap us up because I want to hear more about that.
We'll talk about this later.
But that's probably not on the air.
In private.
So I know that our viewers are going to want to find you, Michel, Neray. So how do they reach out to you? Whether they live in Canada or they live around the world, who can find you and what's the best way to find you for what purpose?
So thank you for asking.
Yeah.
It's very gracious of you. The answer is really easy. momondays.com. Mo as in M-O.
M-O.
Mondays. momondays.com.
All one word.
All one word. And that's the easiest way to do it. If you want to apply to speak at a Mo Mondays, it's momondays.com/speak. If you're interested in learning about the training, there's a tab up there that says Mo Training. And if you're interested in hiring me as a speaker or a consultant for any of these topics or at your conference, that's easy again, and that's just my own website, my own professional website, neray.com, Neray.com. There you go.
Nice. And I love, and you always distinguish with me, it's Mo Mondays with an S on the end.
Although even singular will
help
alias.
you find it.
Yeah.
See how smart he is? He's improv'd his way into a back pocket trick. Even on the internet.
I like that.
Look at you.
I like that. I'm going to use it.
So thank you for tuning in, Facebook viewers and YouTubers. And we are really excited that in about a month from now, this show will air on Roku with 38 million viewers around the world.
Wow.
Going to be a huge impact. You're going to be asked to speak in Saudi Arabia and China, maybe.
Well, I've already spoken in Iran and UAE and yeah.
Look at that.
But Saudi Arabia, sure, I'll do it.
You're happy to go back?
I'll go anywhere.
And I'm happy to be his wingman.
No, I'll be your wing person.
Wing person. I like it. Look at him. How good is he? So we are a happy twosome and team with you, Unstoppable You. Thank you for watching Unstoppable You with Unstoppable Tracy and Michel Neray. Bye for now, folks. We'll see you again.
Bye.